to Schofield Motorsports Garage. A little early Christmas present for myself for the channel. A GoPro Hero 10 Black, because I'm using cell phones. I have two older OnePlus cell phones I use. So I thought I'd step up, so got this thing on. Got it on Amazon. It was renewed, but it looks brand new. It doesn't have any marks on it. Came with two batteries, battery charger. It came with like a 32 gig SD card, but I put a 512 in it. I had both batteries charged up and unplugged the charger last night, so maybe the battery drained down a little bit, but I've only turned it on and updated the firmware, so it's only been on maybe an hour and it's already gone down to 80%, so it kind of concerns me about how the battery's going to last. I also bought a Husiway, I guess that's what it is, Husiway accessory pack. So I'm going to unbox that and get the little tripod out and whatever else is in here. There we go. There we go. Of course, one bad thing about the cell phone, the OnePlus, is it will not record video with the screen off. It would get much better battery life if it recorded video with the screen off. So I usually do, if you ever see me in any of my videos, fiddling with the phone or the camera, I'm going in, once I set up the shot and can see the shot, I have to go in and turn the screen brightness almost all the way down. I guess they're worried about that coming open and shipping. They've got a handy dandy zip tie. Alright. So we have a handy dandy Husiway carrying case. Let's see what we got. Okay, I was beginning to wonder if this thing even opened up. Well, we got all kinds of goodies. We got a case, a waterproof case, I guess. Got a little screen wipe. Got all kinds of mounts. Got a little tripod. What's this? A little baby tripod. What is this? Is this a, I guess maybe a floating mount? I don't know. I don't have a, I guess I need to go online and see what all I bought. What all this came with. Little tripod action. Oh, no, oh, look at that. They bend. Oh. Let's see. I thought one of these had a battery in it. Maybe I was looking at something else. This one's a little bit heavier, so maybe this is it. This is like a selfie stick. Can attach to a base. I guess I gotta put it on here. Yep, sure can. Sure can. Alright. I guess it was something else I was looking at. The selfie stick had a battery in it, so you could add some capacity. There's some straps. I guess I need to get the packing list off of something and find out what all I got. Alright, let's see how this thing works. This is my GoPro 10. Other thing I'm going to do today, and I seem to do a lot of videos about, hey, I'm going to clean up the garage and straighten up the garage, but this is the post-Thanksgiving mess after my brother came over and welded in the front adjustable leaf spring mounts. We got those welded in, made a drive shaft loop, but realized about the time we got it welded in that we need to cut where the cross member had a loop in it. We need to cut that out so it goes straight across, or it's going to be dragging on the ground. So we cut it out and then weld straight pieces in. Yeah, so that's that. But I gotta get all this stuff out to make more space and get rid of some of the clutter. It's always cluttered. And then do some work on the car. This big box is, well, it's not a Kirky, it's a Summit aluminum drag seat with the cover. One thing I am going to do is create the bracing. I'm going to triangulate these bars. I was having a hard time the other day, but I think what I'm going to do is come from out here to here, and then with a tube. So something like that. Just have to make sure it's not in the way of my tire. Of course, it's going to have to be shorter. And then from this bar up to triangulate this and strengthen it, and then tie the fender apron into this more. I've kept this part mainly because it's got the VIN number of the car, and it also helps me make sure I know where to mount the fenders and get them on straight. So yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do today and tomorrow. Need to get rid of a bunch of junk, stuff I never use, like have a tent fan, battery fan. It seems like a cool idea, but I don't know what I'm ever going to do with it. Where am I ever going to use it? All right, good Sunday morning. Welcome to Schofield Motorsports Garage, which I may be rebranding to Schofield Brothers Racing, which is what we used to be when my brother and I were racing. And Schofield Motorsports was a thought when, you know, my nephew was big into dirt bikes, and hopefully my son would come along and be interested. But right now it's just my brother and I, so let the boys worry about that whenever it comes up, because my nephew now is more into bicycle racing. He's actually a professional bicycle racer. So Schofield Brothers Racing may be coming back. I'm looking into getting a new logo made and then get all that done. So we'll see where that leads. But right now, this morning, we're out here in the garage, the Schofield Motorsports, Schofield Brothers Racing Garage. And I think today what I want to work on is triangulating this down tube. Let me sit down for a second. So, move the light over for you guys. So, obviously it's just tacked in place right now. Tack there, I'm going to do something else. That's just to help strengthen it right now, because the only thing holding the front frame rails up is the firewall, and I cut a lot of the firewall out to get the engine in. So this is just temporary. So what I'm going to do, or my thought is run an 1 5/8" tube from out here to there, and then from there up here to triangulate that in and add some strength, because this is a pretty long bar from out here all the way back to the down tube. I can't see what their screen would sleep. So that's a pretty long way. Of course, I'm gonna have some gussets here, one below. That'll help strengthen that tube. But this is just an 1 5/8" tube, so I think it's so long, and the front end has a lot of leverage on it, that it can bend pretty easily. So I'm going to triangulate that in. Maybe even come back down to the frame rail up here just to really box in, or not box in, but triangulate in the frame rails, so the frame rails don't do this. Once you get the intake in, everything fabricated, going to come up with some kind of brace to run across side to side, just to make sure that this front end is locked in as good as it could be. You can see in here the frame rails, or you can see on that side, the frame rails don't have a whole lot supporting them, so I've got to beef that up. So that's going to be the job today, is to beef that up. So I'll have to get out a wire brush, clean off the frame, figure out where it's going to attach, figure out my angles, cut off a piece of tubing, tack weld it in. And I'll probably do a little more than tack weld on it, because the other thing I got to get these frame rails strengthened up is I want to make a rollover jig. Of course, the engine and everything will be out. But basically roll the car up on its side and weld all the bottoms of this. It'd just be so much easier because the car's so light and wouldn't have to lay on the floor doing all this welding. Yeah, so that's that. I'm going to at some point also take the hubs back off. I don't know why I got 3-inch studs on the front. They look like those big spikes that tractor trailers dudes like to use. I'm just afraid walking by. They stick so far out, afraid walking by they'll gash my shin on them. So I'm gonna get some 2-inch studs, maybe 1.5 inches. So the A-arms down there are slanted this way, so I think that means when the tire goes up, it's actually going to move forward a little bit, which is really going to help. Put this up here. Let's just unplug the light. Just have to live with the flicker. We're all just going to have to live with the flicker. So I would say that it should be safe somewhere behind that. That's all dirt. Oh, I did right on it. Okay. So somewhere right in there should be good. I don't know if the GoPro sees what I see. But now I can, that's not good, not very good, but my brother can do that. This thing's down to 24%. This is horrible battery life. I'm thinking of getting rid of this. This is just terrible. Horrible battery life. It's down to 24%. That is just awful. I have a 512 gig card, so I can record 20 hours of 1080 video. But oh my god, this I have to send this shit back. But there's my horrible welds. But you can see where this goes. So now I can make a tube that comes up in here real close. Maybe even has a slight bend to it, and then goes up here and triangulates that way out to here and out to there somewhere. Have it in real close to the firewall and the fender apron. Come down there, and then maybe even have another one that comes up here and catches it near the. So I have one that the main one's going to come like from here down along the apron to this bar just put in, and then from that bar I have one that comes up here and triangulates it right there. Then the front end will be Viagra stiff. That bar goes there just like the other side. I plan on having a bar that comes off this front end down tube and goes back to that and triangulates it, and then maybe a bar off of that going up here. I thought about that. I was talking about the other side coming up like this, but I think what I'm gonna do is come up and then from here come over and catch this. Probably use some 1.25 inch tube because it's gonna be a short tube, just to add just a little bit of reinforcement. I think this is gonna reinforce the frame rails a lot. So I got that one done. Let's get the light over here. Of course I don't have them finished welded. My brother had to finish welding. I don't know. I spent so much time welding on sheet metal and not really trained in the art of the MIG welding, but I've kind of gotten pretty decent at welding thinner metals. But the thicker metals now are a little more of a challenge. I can do it better on flat. Curves, not very good at all. I guess I need to get more scrap and practice. But so come up like this, basically like that light is, and then come off of that, go that way. That's how we're going to triangulate. And I'm going to call it a day. Wish I could do more, but I'm going to have some time off for Christmas. I'm not really sold on this GoPro 10. The battery life on it seems to suck. And I've got all the basic settings, the extended battery setting. I've turned off the Wi-Fi, not using my phone to control it. And the screen's off right now. And I've already had to go in and change batteries. I bet I haven't recorded more than an hour and it completely ran the battery down. So maybe go on more of the OnePlus telephones, because they'll get halfway decent battery life. So we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment, hit the bell, like, whatever. If I don't see you guys, you don't see me, have a Merry Christmas.